Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to discuss the topic narrations. Narrations is a kind of speech or sentences which can be of two kinds: direct speech, direct sentences, or indirect sentences or indirect speech. So you can say that narrations are type of sentences in which these are conversational sentences. Narrations are conversational sentences. So conversational sentences are those which can happen between two people, or which can be, or the conversation between the two people can be delivered to a third party or the third person. Now come to the next slide. Before going deep into narrations, first of all, we will have to understand that direct speech or direct sentence have a special kind of structure. When we will understand this structure, then it is possible for us to change the direct sentences or speech into indirect sentence. Okay, now look at the structure. The structure of direct speech consists of two parts. The first part is called the reporter part, in which a person reports something or speaks something, and there should be a listener. There can be a listener present in the reporter part, or it can be omitted. The second part of direct speech is reported speech. So in the reported speech part, you can see any quote or speech within punctuations. So both these parts, the reporter and the reported speech, are present in a single sentence with the punctuations. Now coming to the indirect sentence or indirect speech. So first of all, before coming to indirect sentence, first of all, let's see the example of direct speech so that you understand it well. Look at this sentence. This sentence is in front of you. She said to me, I am very busy with my work. You can see that this sentence is present within punctuations. There are punctuations because there is some kind of conversation over here, and that is a direct conversation which is present in this sentence. So the first sentence, the first part in this sentence, which is highlighted with blue purple color, is called reporter, while the part which is highlighted with blue color and it is in punctuation, that part is called reported speech. So this is the reported speech. This is that part which is spoken by this reporter in the first part. The reporter over here is she, because she said to me. She is the one who says something. So she is the reporter over here, and the listener is also present in this part. Me is the listener, but sometimes listener cannot be present in the first part, and that doesn't matter. Now come to the indirect sentence or indirect speech of this direct sentence that you see on the screen. Here you go. This sentence in front of you on the screens is indirect sentence. See, we have changed the same sentence, same direct sentence into indirect. How? First of all, look over here. Read it. She told me that she was very busy with her work. So you can see that the sentence has appeared to be very simpler, and it is in a very indirect form, informal way of speaking us something about the conversation that happened earlier. Okay, now come to the next slide. We will know how we have changed the direct sentences or speech into indirect sentences in this video, right? So let's go towards the rules of narrations. So students, there are some rules of changing direct sentence into indirect speech or sentences, okay, that are very important, because without knowing these rules, it is impossible to change a direct sentence into indirect. So but they are very easy. And the first rule, and these are the golden rules. You can say that these are the golden rules. First rule is the verb, with the reporter, the verb that you saw with the reporter, first part of direct speech is always changed into any other suitable verb in indirect sentence. Now, what does this mean? What does this rule mean? You can understand very well with the example. The example is same that we shared in the earlier slides. She said to me, I am busy with my work. So this is a direct sentence, we can see, because there are punctuations over here. Now look here, students. When we change this sentence into indirect sentence, the verb that I have highlighted, the verb with the reporter, she is the reporter. So the verb with the reporter is changed into a suitable verb told over here, right? In the indirect sentence. Do you understand now what this rule says? Now come to the second rule. The second rule says comma is replaced by that in indirect sentence. Comma is replaced by that in indirect sentence. Now let us see where is comma present in the direct sentence. She said to me. So after she said to me, the reporter part, you can see the comma that I have highlighted. And this comma is always changed into that in the indirect sentence. Okay, both are highlighted, the comma and that. So you can understand very well now. Come to the third rule. And the third rule says all punctuations are removed in indirect speech. So this is very easy and important. You can see from the example also. She said to me, I am busy with my work. This direct sentence is filled with punctuations. But when we change into indirect sentence, see, there are no punctuations in the indirect sentence. The sentence has become much easier. Now come to the fourth rule, and the fourth rule says the tense of universal facts, routines, and habits sentences are never changed in indirect sentence. Now, what does this mean? This means that if a direct sentence has got if the direct sentence is a universal fact or is indicating a routine or a habit, then the tense of that sentence will never be changed. How can it be possible? See the example. Look here. She said to me, I exercise daily. This is a direct sentence, and you can very well judge that I exercise daily is showing that it is a routine. It is a routine. And the verb exercise over here, the tense of this verb exercise is in simple present tense. So when we will change this direct sentence into indirect sentence, the tense will remain same. Look here. She told me that she exercises daily. There, both the tenses, exercise in direct sentence and exercises in indirect sentence, both have same tense. We have not changed the tense in the indirect sentence. Okay, I hope you have understood very well. Now come to the fifth rule. The fifth rule says tense of indirect speech changes according to the tense of the verb with reporter in direct speech. Now, what does this mean? We have already discussed that the tense of universal facts, habits, and routines never changes. This is only related to these kinds of sentences where tense is never changed. But in other sentences, in other type of sentences, tense is always changed. Tense is changed according to the verb present with the reporter. See in the example over here, she said to me, I am busy with my work. with is missing here, student, sorry. And you can see that this direct sentence is in what you can say is in present tense. I am busy with my work. This is a present tense sentence, right? But when we will change, and it is not a routine, it is not a universal fact, and it is also not a habit. So you can see that when we will change this kind of sentence into indirect sentence, we will first check what is the tense of the verb with the reporter. You can see that she said is in past tense, so we will change the tense of all the verbs in the indirect sentence into past tense. You can see said has been changed into told, a suitable verb, and its tense is past. And am over here in the direct sentence is also changed with was. So you can very well understand that we have changed the tense of the verbs in the indirect sentence according to the verb tense of the verb in reporter part, right? So I hope you have understood this rule also. Coming to the next rule. Now this rule that you can see on the screen is about question sentences. In question sentence, if a question sentence comes in direct speech starting with helping verb, then if, whether, and subject will be put before helping verb in indirect sentence. Now what does this mean? See the example again. Look here, the direct sentence is a question sentence where it is written, she said to me, am I busy with my work? So this is clearly a question sentence starting with a helping verb. So if a question sentence starts with a helping verb in direct speech, then when we change this sentence, this kind of sentence into indirect sentence, then what will happen? We will put if before the helping verb. We will put if before the helping verb in indirect sentence, and uh, subject I, which has changed into she, will come before helping verb. Am is changed into was, and it is after if and the subject. Okay, so you can see, you can relate this example with the rule and you will understand very well. So you understand. And see also that verbs are changed according to the tense of the verb in the reporter part. Said is in past tense, so we have put all the verbs in the indirect sentence into past tense. Okay, now move on to the next rule. Okay, students, now there are another kind of question sentences that may come in direct speech. And what kind of question sentence they may be? In question sentence starting with WH word, then WH word will remain as it is and subject will come just after it in indirect speech. So I hope it's very clear to you, and you can also get more clarification with the example. She said to me, why am I busy with my work? So this is a direct sentence and it's a question sentence and it is starting with WH word. So how can we change into indirect sentence according to the rule? See here, she asked me that why she. See, the subject has followed after WH word and WH word has remained same where it was present. So why she was busy with my work, with her work. And you can also see in the previous rules we studied that suitable verb of the reporter kind will be used in the indirect sentence. So since it is a question sentence, so we have used asked instead of said. Said can never be repeated, can never be repeated in the indirect sentence. Okay, now come to the next rule. The next rule is also very important and it is easier. Some words, see here, some words related to time and place are changed in indirect sentence or speech. There may come some kinds of words which are related to time or place. Those words are always changed. We have to detect those words, and those words are always changed in indirect sentence. Now what kind of words that would be? There is a list for that, and I want to show that to you so that you remember it well. These are the words, students, these are the words that are always changed in indirect sentence. If these words on the left side appear in the indirect sentence, if any of these words on the left column appear in the direct sentence, then they direct speech, then they are always changed into the words uh, facing in the right side column. Okay, this will always change into that, these will change into those. If today comes in the direct sentence, then it will change into that day, and yesterday will be changed into previous day, tomorrow will be changed into next day, and tonight will be changed into that night, next week will be changed into following week, last can be written as previous, now will also be changed into then. If ago comes in the direct speech, then we will change into before, and last of all, if here comes in the direct speech, then we will change it into there. Okay, so I hope it is very clear to you, students. Now not last but not the least, the last rule says suitable pronouns both for first person or second person are used in indirect sentence. Now, as you have seen in the previous rules, you also saw that pronouns, um, the reporter pronouns were changed into suitable pronouns in the indirect sentence. So there is a list for this also, and I want to show it, and you should remember this list before you change the direct speech into indirect speech, and that is you. If you comes as subject, then if you is the reporter, subject means we are, when we say subject, we mean that if you is a reporter, and if it comes as subject or reporter, then we will change you into I, he. We can change you into I, he, she, we, and or they, according to the suitability. And if you comes as a listener in the reporter part or as an object, then we can change you into either is, her, us, or them, right? If similarly, if your comes in the reporter part, then your is always changed, can always be changed into my, his, her, our, or their in the indirect sentence. If yours come in the direct speech, then yours will always be changed into mine, his, hers, ours, or theirs. If I comes in the direct speech, direct speech, then we will change I is always changed into he or she. If my comes in direct sentence, then my will be changed into his or her. Similarly, if mine comes in direct speech, then we will change mine into his or hers. That's all, students, for now, and we have covered the narrations topic fully, and I hope it will help in the understanding of this topic. Okay, thank you.